What if the very thing that's supposed to help you grow is quietly holding you back? I'm talking about the most dangerous lie in self help. It's the lie tells you once you fix yourself, then you'll finally be enough. Sounds inspiring, right? But that message keeps millions of people stuck in this endless cycle of self improvement, chasing better instead of living in the now. In this video, we're pulling back the curtain on self help myth from toxic positivity, truth to the dark side of self improvement. You can stop trying to fix yourself and start finally becoming yourself. By the end, you'll know exactly why self help isn't working for so many people and how to rewrite your story in a way that actually heals you, your mind, body, and soul. Hi, my friends. I'm Kimberly. What is the lie we've all bought into? Have you ever been on a personal growth journey, reading the books, watching the videos, reading the affirmations, only to wake up one day thinking, why do I still feel stuck? Well, my friend, you are not alone. Many people believe that if they could just heal one more thing, fix one more flaw, reach one more goal, then and only then they will finally be happy. But what they don't realize is that they are trapped inside one of the most dangerous lies in the self help industry, that they are not whole yet. Today, I want to talk about what that lie really costs us and how you walk away from it. Because true growth doesn't come from fixing yourself, it comes from finally accepting yourself. We can all get caught up in that trap of always becoming better. Have you ever noticed that no matter how many goals you hit, the finish line just keeps moving? That's why the biggest mind trap's keeping you stuck. That idea that happiness lives in the future version of you somewhere. We all tell ourselves things like, I'll be happy when I lose that 20 pounds. I'll be confident when I make 6 figures. I'll finally relax. When I heal all my trauma, I'll finally love myself. Really? The problem? Those finish lines are just illusions. The self help industry thrives on this illusion. It sells us progress, but often it subtly reinforces lack. You start believing that something about you is broken or missing, that you need more affirmations, maybe another morning routine, one more book to buy, be enough. This is the self help industry truth most people really don't talk about. It is built to keep you chasing. But chasing never equals peace. You can't hate yourself into healing. No more than you can shame yourself into changing. And you can't reach self acceptance by constantly telling yourself you're not there yet. When you realize this, you start healing differently. You stop striving for a perfect self and start showing up as your real self. That's where emotional freedom begins. So from now on, instead of asking, how can I be better? Maybe we should be asking ourselves, how can I be more myself today? The belief that constant positivity is the key to self help success, that too is a myth. Have you ever tried to stay positive when your world is absolutely falling apart and ended up feeling worse? That's toxic positivity. And it's one of the most harmful self help myths exposed today. It teaches you to suppress your pain instead of process it, to smile instead of speak, fake peace instead of feel truth. The truth is, real healing isn't all sunshine and mantras. Sometimes it's quite messy. Sometimes it's choosing rest instead of relentless self improvement. I learned this the hard way. After going through loss, I tried to affirm my way through grief until I realized that the more I denied my pain, the heavier it became. And that's when I understood positivity without honesty is denial dressed up as growth. The dark side of self improvement is that it often encourages bypassing emotions, labeling anything negative as bad. Those negative emotions, they're messengers. Anger says, I've been wrong. Sadness says, something mattered. Fear says, I need safety. Ignoring those voices doesn't make them go away, it buries them alive. You don't need to stay positive, you need to stay real. When you stop forcing positivity and start embracing authenticity, you do step into real healing versus fake positivity, the kind that actually lasts. There is also the solo journey myth. Ever heard the phrase, you have to do it all yourself? Well, that too is another lie. And one of the sneakiest ones in self help. Yes, accountability does matter, but healing was never meant to be a solo sport. The myth that you must figure everything out alone isolates people, and isolation is the exact opposite of growth. The truth is, connection heals what isolation cannot. In my own emotional healing, I tried for years to fix myself in silence. I didn't want to be a burden to anyone. Certainly didn't want to look weak, but every time I pretended I was okay, I only reinforced the lie that I wasn't allowed to need help. The self help industry truth, it rarely tells you that community is medicine. Real transformation happens when you share your story. When someone says, me too, and suddenly you realize you're not broken, you're just human. That's how spiritual growth, awakening, really begins. Not through perfection, but through connection. You don't need to carry your healing all alone. You're allowed to ask for help. You're allowed to cry on someone's shoulder. Take up space. Because healing isn't found in independence, it's found in interdependence. There is confusion between awareness and action. Let's be honest. Have you ever read so many self help books that you started quoting them, but nothing in your life was actually changing? That's because knowledge without application keeps you in limbo. It feels like growth, but it's just mental clutter in disguise. I call it the awareness trap. You become addicted to learning about your patterns instead of actually breaking them. You understand your trauma, but you're still repeating the same habits. Why? Because understanding isn't transformation. It's only actually the first step. This is one of the biggest personal growth mistakes people make. Thinking insight automatically equals healing. But the truth is, your nervous system doesn't heal from information, it heals through actual experience. That's why your body might still panic, even when your mind says, I'm safe now. That's why you might still freeze or people please, even though you do actually know better. To create change, you have to live differently, not just to think differently. So don't just read about boundaries, actually practice saying no. And don't just talk about your peace, schedule your rest. And don't just visualize confidence. Start showing up as the version of you who believe you deserve to be seen. That's how awareness becomes embodied wisdom. There is also the healing versus fixing dilemma. Here's a question that changed my entire life. What if there's nothing wrong with me to fix? Only things within me to understand. Single shift is the difference between chasing healing and living healed. The dark side of self improvement makes you believe you're a problem that needs solving. But the truth is, you're not broken. You're just becoming a whole human. Every time you think, I need to fix myself, you are actually reinforcing the belief that you're not enough as you are. That's how self help isn't working for so many people. Healing isn't about becoming someone new, it's about remembering who you were before the world taught you to doubt yourself. When you start from wholeness, not lack, everything starts to change. Your goals feel lighter. Your inner critic does actually start to soften. You stop self sabotaging because you're no longer fighting against yourself. That's how you learn to stop self sabotage, by realizing it's not rebellion, it's protection. That scared part of you that keeps avoiding progress isn't trying to ruin your life, it's actually trying to keep you safe. So instead of shaming that part, talk to it, reassure it, integrate it. That's real healing. When you start seeing yourself as whole, everything in your life starts aligning with that belief. You stop striving, be enough, and you start living as enough. That's when transformation stops feeling like a battle and starts feeling like coming home. So here's what I hope you take away from this today. You don't need to fix yourself. You need to free yourself. Free yourself from the lie that growth means protection. Free yourself from the idea that you must earn your worth. And especially free yourself from the noise that says you're not already enough. Because the moment you stop trying to become someone else, you'll finally become yourself. And that's where the real healing begins, my friend. If this message resonated with you, take a deep breath right now and remind yourself, I am not behind. I am healing. If you're ready to go deeper into this journey, you may want to watch my next video. Why some people never heal and how to break the cycle. It'll help you recognize the hidden blocks that keep you from moving forward. And if you found this video comforting or eye-opening in any way today, please take a second to like, subscribe, and share it with someone you may think needs this message today. Because healing spreads one honest conversation at a time. Always remember, you are truly not alone. And do go find your joy. Thanks again for spending time with me.